Hey everyone, this is Dr. Fox. Thank you again for all of your support for CRPN and now for the new podcast, CRPN Central. If you'd like to sponsor CRPN Central and our dedicated voice to the industry, I would love your help. Please contact us today at info@crpaynet.com for details. Welcome to CRPN Central, the official podcast of the Clinical Research Payment Network. I'm your host, Dr. Daniel Fox. CRPN Central discusses the real issues with our clinical research industry to explore and identify mutually beneficial solutions for all of our stakeholders. For the first episode, I will be traveling solo to tell you about CRPN. I want to talk to you about how we formed and what we are doing to serve our industry. Our network does need to hear more than just my voice in these episodes, and we want to hear your stories, your experiences, and importantly, your ideas. If you would like to be part of this discussion, please contact us with your thoughts, your comments, your questions, or your requests to participate in this show. Episode 1 is, of course, all about CRPN. Let's give you a little bit of background. The Clinical Research Payment Network was actually founded by a site administrator, me, to address the underlying problems observed in our industry for everyone involved. To achieve its mission, CRPN creates a progressive environment to unify the clinical research industry for fast, efficient, and quality clinical research experiences. We offer our site partners the best possible support, flexibility, and professional advocacy experiences that we can find so that they can perform their clinical research trials and improve operational processes. We also offer our client members a healthy environment of trust and reliability and transparency to ensure that we have successful trial outcomes. Now, CRPN is not a site management organization. I've heard many people say that because we don't manage sites. And although we do offer some consultancies and service support, we're not necessarily that contractual research organization or that CRO according to the current industry standards. CRPN is, well, I just call it CRPN. It is its own thing. And to help us to explain our position in the industry and to bring a variety to your listening entertainment, I've actually invited some of our community members to help ask some of those burning questions that you just can't wait to ask.
What exactly does CRPN offer to an already crowded clinical research industry?
Well, that's a very good question, community member. Although the industry is crowded, very few people actually perform good services in clinical research. There is virtually no standard or accountability that is followed as an industry standard. And as a result, there's actually more wasted spending in our industry than productive spending. So, what exactly does CRPN offer? CRPN offers first opportunities. So, as soon as a site joins on, we can try to get them opportunities in clinical trials and things like that. So, for our site partners, we actually bring viable clinical trial opportunities that's tailored to the needs of their individualized site profiles. Trials are pre vetted to ensure fundability and quality and even some risk reduction. For our client members, we actually bring qualified and vetted clinical research sites with predetermined costs and quality track records to expedite startup, save costs for their programs, and to improve their overall quality. So there's your opportunity. Now let's move on to the next one. CRPN offers reliability. So the site partners can actually trust that they will be paid on time every time. That's how CRPN started, and that's my commitment to the sites. When they work within the network, that is when we can promise that. I can't make that promise if they work outside of the network because I can't control the rest of the industry. And for that reason, we also offer CRPN affordable consulting rates. They're always set and they're set for our sites to succeed. The client members, for reliability, can rest assured that their payments are managed responsibly at all times, and that CRPN's consulting services allow them access to the industry's best possible subject matter experts in our site facing field. For the next step is CRPN actually offers accountability. I've actually created a risk assessment score called the PACT score. PACT surveys in our reporting systems will allow our site partners and our client members to have the opportunity to anonymously report their industry experiences and to access the metrics that they need to properly assess the business risks that they have for good and educated business decisions in each of their collaborative agreements. So, therefore, good behaviors are encouraged, and not so good behaviors are strongly encouraged to change through increased risk based negotiated rates. With this accountability in place, CRPN can actually foster strong professional relationships and the highest possible quality within its network. And then CRPN offers, of course, transparency. We don't want to be mean. We want to be fully clear at what we're doing and how we're doing it so that everything is an equal and opportunity playing field. Our community education and outreach programs are designed by our site partners, and they clearly communicate the best practices needed to help our client members understand how to optimize professional relationships. And as a result, they can actually perform clinical trial processes better with better partners. Site partners and client members alike will have direct line to site-facing industry perspectives for optimal trial coordination and performance. And last but certainly not least, CRPN offers its site partners and its client members a true and comprehensive community. Because we are one of the only organizations who cater to the needs of site partners and to client members equally, CRPN actually offers this environment that focuses on positive professional relationships and success at every level of the clinical trial experience. So, as a result, site partners and client members often feel the collaborative nature required to truly foster a successful research group in the entire industry.
It sounds like CRPN brings a lot of quality and infrastructure to the industry. How much does it cost to join the network?
CRPN is free to join for site partners. Clients, such as pharmaceutical companies or CROs, pay a membership premium to access the network. However, the memberships are priced to deliver a substantial cost savings to their clinical trial programs.
Every company has to make money to pay the bills. What are the costs to site partners and client members?
CRPN costs to sites and clients differ. However, they are gauged to save money and encourage success. We offer sites a full array of consulting services, from program design and SOPs all the way to CAPAs and budget contract negotiations. Sites only pay for what they request and at agreed upon rates. And there is not a minimum service requirement to be in the network. We also offer sites access to the PACT reports, which pays for themselves after they prevent the very first bad business decision. Client costs include paying a premium to access CRPN's resource network and paid services. Premiums provide access to CRPN's site network, including the built in feasibilities, CDAs, regulatory services, and pricing systems. It also includes access to the PACT S surveys and preferred CRPN consultation prices. In addition to premiums, client costs simply include what they would have already paid in the industry anyway, except they'll find that the overall costs to be fully accountable, transparent, discounted, and reduced in quantity. In fact, we find some sponsors may actually save as much as 66%. That's 66% of an overall savings as CRPN members compared to the industry's traditional pricing models when the comparison accomplishes equivalent outcomes.
I bet there's a catch. Most networks like this lock sites into exclusion or hold them hostage for years after they leave.
Well, unfortunately, you're right. There are some pretty predatory site networks out there, Some actually force sites to work only within their network, and then they forbid them from doing any research with affiliates for 2 to 5 years after leaving the network. That's unacceptable, and CRPN does not do that. There's only one catch to being in CRPN, one rule: don't be a jerk. If you can't do this, we may ask you to leave. If you can follow this one provision and you follow reasonable legal law, the rest of your experience at CRPN should be as independent and flexible as possible. We aren't here to bind you or to demand you. CRPN's entire mission is designed to empower our network, not to enslave it.
You piqued my interest, Dr. Fox. How do I join CRPN?
Joining CRPN is as simple as asking. If you'd like to join the network, contact us at info@crknet.com. We will leave the contact information in the show notes for your convenience. Sites begin their CRPN journey by signing a master network agreement. Upon registration, we will send you a site profile request, an official membership certificate, and a custom site ID, a welcome package explaining our site's services, and finally, CRPN's latest site newsletter. That's right, we also provide our sites with newsletters to communicate. Sponsors who join also sign a master agreement. They pay their premium and they receive onboarding information, including their official member ID, a welcome package, and a profile survey.
What if I don't like CRPN and want to leave the network?
Well, we would certainly be sorry to see you go. However, we understand that things do happen and sometimes things aren't for everyone. CRPN doesn't require time or service obligations from our site partners or our client members. If the experience doesn't meet either of our expectations, you or CRPN are welcome to leave the commitment at any time. If we are doing any work for you at the time of your request, we will wrap up everything as quickly and efficiently as possible, and we will work to transition any remaining responsibilities timely to ensure your continued success with or without the network. Given our business model, however, we cannot refund sponsor premiums. So please, clients, register into the network knowing that your premiums are designed to provide you with savings, but they're also non refundable.
I'm not keen on joining flaky startups. How long has CRPN been around, and how big is this miracle network?
Well, as of February 2023, CRPN is just over 1 year old. It started simply as an idea, and it has grown into a functional network with an array of offerings for site partners and our client members. We have just over 20 site partners, 4 interested sponsors who have not yet joined, a board of advisors, a numerous amount of industry partners in the e-reg, tech, data analytics, sponsor, CRO, and financial sectors, and we may be small and we may be young. However, we have demonstrated time and time again that we are certainly not flaky, and we won't be going anywhere but up in the industry. We had to create a site partner offering before recruiting sponsors, and now is an ideal time to experience all of the benefits the CRPN community has to offer. More sponsors joining the network means more sites interested in joining for trial opportunities, and more sites joining the network means more site options offered to our client members. Growth is synergistic and it's progressive for each arm of our network.
It seems like CRPN is doing so much already. What is the point of forming a podcast on top of all of this?
We created CRPN Central to amplify our clinical research voice and to help to advocate our positive change in the industry. Expect CRPN Central to host a variety of voices throughout the industry to explore the challenges we experience from multiple perspectives. We want to identify our root causes for these experiences, and we want to constructively create solutions together. Sites, clients, solution partners, and patients are all welcome to speak their voices on select topics for an overall sense of community, transparency, and partnership.
It sounds like CRPN is doing some great things in the clinical research community. I can't wait to see where this goes, and I look forward to listening to future CRPN Central episodes.
Well, we'd really like to think so, and thank you for all of your support. Everyone who stuck around so long to listen to this entire podcast, please feel free to reach out and tell us what you want to know about our clinical research industry and how we can help to advocate for positive industry change. All right, everyone. Well, that concludes the very first episode of CRPN Central. I know that it seemed kind of scripted, and I know that it was written down, and that's because it was. And expect some future episodes to be a little more organic when we have people to interview and we have those candid discussions. A very special thank you to our site partners, our client members, and all of our industry supporters for the opportunity to serve, especially on this podcast. Please, for the sake of our mission and for everything that we want to do, feel free to like, follow, and subscribe to this podcast as you see fit with all of your friends and your collaborators. Thank you again for listening, and we'll see you next time on CRPN Central.